Hello, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. In today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at this absolutely incredible resin cast kit of the Emperor Dalek from Evil of the Daleks, which is in scale with the 5.5-inch character options range, as you can see here demonstrated by the two Emperor Daleks guards from the character options range. This has been created by NDW Design, aka Nathan Ward, aka Dalek Idea, and if you've been on YouTube doing Doctor Who stuff as long as I have, you'll probably remember Nathan doing action figure adventure stuff and reviews and customs, but now he's moved on to doing all sorts of really cool things. He makes these really beautiful Daleks using the 5.5-inch range, and his newest thing is this absolutely fantastic kit. So Nathan very kindly sent me one of these kits completely finished, so this is all his handiwork. I have had no part in this, and he did an absolutely stunning job, as you can see, and I'm so grateful for him doing that, because if I'd have done it, it would have been a total disaster. A massive thank you to Nathan. So let's start by just taking a look at it and just soaking it all in. As you can see, the detail on it is fantastic. All of the different layers, the hemispheres, particularly the head, the detail here is really fantastic. So the original sculpt of this Dalek was 3D modelled by a chap called Edward Felix, and Nathan asked for his permission to make these as kits, which he's now selling on his Etsy store. And I'll put all of the links and stuff in the description below. You'll be able to find it all there. And so he took that original digital sculpt, he 3D printed it on an Oligo Mars, cleaned up all the parts and moulded them with silicone, and then they were cast in a fast cast resin. So that's one of the things that I really should point out here, is that this thing is really quite weighty. It's surprising because obviously it's slightly bigger than a normal Dalek, but it is much weightier. As you can see, it's really thick at the base. That is a lot of resin, so that's why it's so weighty. And because it's been cast in resin and it's not been 3D printed, you don't get all of those nasty sort of scan lines, I think they call them, where they just have all these ridges and stuff that you'd have to normally sand down and stuff. Here it's just very clean and very crisp. It looks absolutely fantastic. And Nathan tells me that the parts are pressure cast for a bubble-free finish. So if you've ever done anything with like fiberglass or anything like that, if you use the resin, you will find that a lot of the times when you cast something, it comes out and there's all these little bubbles and stuff in it, and sometimes you have to use filler to clean it all up, but that isn't the case here, and I can confirm that this thing is absolutely bubble free. So like I said, Nathan has completely done this kit for me, but Nathan has put some videos up on his channel, Dalek Idea, so go over there, check it out, and you'll be able to see it in far more detail of exactly what he's done or what you need to do if you get one of these kits. But this is how it looks when you originally get one of the kits. So it's just completely plain. The hemispheres are separate, the head's separate. First of all, you need to sand down the bases of your hemispheres so that they can be glued flush to the skirt of the Dalek. Likewise, the base also needs sanding down so that it's nice and level and will sit down flat on a flat surface. And another thing he points out is that there's a few seam lines around the top of the head, sort of like fringing like you would get on, even on like an official toy. Sometimes when they pull them out of the mould, you get that little bit of excess plastic, which hasn't quite come off yet. But Nathan sort of said, you know, if you're going to do it and you want it to look nice and pristine and perfect, like this one does, you want to sand those down and just tidy it up a bit. But really, it is pretty much almost ready for painting as soon as you get it, which is incredible. And Nathan went to great pains doing this. You know, he painted it with a primer. He masked out all of the individual ridges around the head, which is incredible, and then sprayed that silver, which is fantastic because I know that is exactly the sort of thing that I don't really have an awful lot of patience with, and I probably would have done it with a brush and it would have looked awful. But he's been ever so good, and as you can see, it looks so crisp and neat. It looks absolutely fantastic. And the majority of the paints used to create this particular Emperor Dalek were from Halfords. It was their own brand of paint. So I think that's in particular the silver and the black. And if you look around the head, you can see that you've got all of these circular bits as well underneath. This has all been captured so incredibly well. It just looks amazing. I think on the original prop, there would be lights fitted in there, so when it spoke, it would all flash. And again, you've got those same circular bits up on the top. And then, of course, you've got the dome, which is, I think I'm right in saying this, it's actually the top of a Chumley from Galaxy 4 made up the head. And you can see it's got the three little nubbin bits on top, and then there's another circle on top of that. And he's painted that in this sort of lovely cream colour, which is just like the real thing. Nathan said to me, what sort of colour scheme do you want it? And I said, if you can do it as close to the real thing as possible, that would be amazing. And he didn't disappoint. He has done an absolutely stellar job. The eye stalk, as you can see, that's another separate piece. There's a hole in the head there, but that just slots in. There's no articulation there. I don't actually think there was any articulation on the real thing, actually. And then again, moving down, lovely paintwork all around the top, going around those hexagons and things. Again, a slightly more orangey colour for the top hemispheres, and then, like I said, he's done a lovely job with the finish on the hemispheres around the middle. So it is absolutely superb. And if you see it here up against the other Daleks, it doesn't look all that much bigger, which is surprising because you see it and you think, well, gosh, it's so tall in this series. But that's because it's stood on a plinth. What I've just done here, excuse the fact that I'm using Jago and Lightfoot as the plinth. This will just give you more of a sense of what it looks like when it's elevated to its sort of proper size, and it looks fantastic. When you see it just towering above those Daleks, it looks so good. So I think what I'm going to try and do, as soon as I can get back to my parents' house and rearrange the cabinets, I am going to build a little plinth for this to stand on and paint it blue like the real thing. And I was sort of talking to Nathan saying I might even try and see if I can find some small tubes that I can hook onto these circular parts at the front, because the real prop, the idea is the Emperor Dalek is almost a part of the Dalek city that is all plugged in. I will keep you updated on how I get on there. But like I said, an absolutely phenomenal piece of work. In terms of articulation, the head does turn. You can turn the head. The head is actually removable. I guess you could glue it on if you wanted to, if you would prefer to do that. The reason why I'm not showing the head spinning around or anything is simply because I'm frightened that it's going to cause a bit of paint rub, and I don't want to destroy Nathan's fantastic work. But you can turn the head. Just incredible. An absolutely fantastic piece. I absolutely love it. I think it's just going to look so good when I get to put it back in the cabinet. And when you see it here with the other Daleks, it's just great. It's really one of those pieces that collectors have always wanted in the character options range. So now Nathan has fulfilled a lot of collectors' dreams and filled in that gap, and it just looks incredible. It looks so good alongside the other figures. I mean, you would easily look at that and go, oh yeah, that's just another one of the toys, because the finish is just that good. So like I said, I've posted links to Nathan's social media and stuff in the description below. That's his Etsy store and his Twitter and Instagram handle. Go and have a look, check out his Instagram. He's got loads of pictures of all these beautiful custom Daleks and other things that he's been working on. Really fantastic stuff. And I know he's got ideas for other kits in mind. I think he's talking about doing a Emperor Dalek from the comic books, the gold big massive head one, which I think would be amazing. That's another toy that I think, you know, everyone would have liked, even though it never appeared in the TV series. It's just one of those really cool Dalek designs which has just sort of secured itself in people's minds from those comics and on the covers of Big Finish and stuff. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, because I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. So Nathan sells these kits, like I said, unfinished for £45, and I think he's talking about selling some finished versions. But yes, the kit itself is £45. You can find it on Nathan's Etsy page. For more information, do check out his social media. I'm sure you can drop him a line and he'll be more than happy to answer any questions and stuff. But yes, there we go. That is the Emperor Dalek, an absolutely stunning kit. I'm so pleased to have this in my collection. Yeah, it's just going to be a real beautiful centerpiece for that second Doctor shelf. And it's coming at a good time as well, because obviously with these History of the Daleks sets coming out from B&M stores, I can imagine that once they get to Evil of the Daleks, we'll probably see these Emperor Dalek guard figures released again. So good timing, I'd say. Thank you once again to Nathan for making this for me. I'm so grateful to him. He's done a beautiful job. And check out NDW Design, and I'll see you guys next time.